Wasn't there an NBA player who got a lifetime ban recently? That happened today. That was Porter. He was the guy who was gambling on his own games. They just announced today that Porter was going to be banned forever from the NBA, which is great. Like, I think the ban makes sense because if you're max fishing, if you're match fixing, that's unbelievably detrimental to the sport. I get that, but you have to keep in mind the NBA still celebrates fucking Karl Malone, a legitimate pedophile who impregnated a 12-year-old. I can't remember how old she was, but a child, and they still bring Karl Malone around. That's crazy, right? Like, I get banning Porter, but can we also tackle people like Karl Malone too, perhaps? The NBA is, all over the place with their fucking priorities. He's an actual idiot, made $3 million playing in the NBA and won $21K gambling. So, we'll dive into it a little bit. As I understand it with Porter, this is what started it. So, what you're referring to is what he actually made, but he did why do I keep saying max fish? He did match fix, try to, for a $1.1 million payday, as I understand it. So, the NBA investigation found that Porter revealed information about his own health to a known sports bettor ahead of a March 20th game against the Kings. Another bettor privy to the information placed an $80K same-game parlay bet that featured unders on Porter's statistics and would win $1.1 million, according to the NBA. Porter played 3 minutes before leaving the game with an illness. The bet, which was placed at DraftKings, was not paid. So I think this was the plan to make bets of this caliber. I think. And I'm not super knowledgeable on how the betting works from this perspective, but I think this is what they were trying to do. But this one got frozen, so he didn't get paid out. What he did get paid out is this. The league investigation revealed Porter placed at least 13 bets on NBA games using an associate's online betting account. The bets ranged from $15 to $22,000, totaling $54.94 according to the league. The NBA said the total payout from these bets was $76,059 net winnings of $21,965. None of the bets involved any in which Porter played. 3 of the bets were parlays, including one that included a bet on the Raptors to lose. That was his team. All 3 bets lost, according to the NBA. So he made $21,000 from these bets, but he was looking for things like this, the $1.1 million paydays. That's what he was aiming for, but this is what he accomplished. And now he's lost his whole career. And he had like a $3 million contract in the NBA, so losing $3 million to make 21 grand, probably not worth. What a loser. Super stupid idea. It's like actually the plot to fucking Longest Yard to a certain degree. Again, this is what he was looking for. That kind of shit. The lifetime ban was supposed to be a message for NBA and other leagues for betting punishments. No, like I said, it makes sense. It really does make sense. I get it. But I would just really like the NBA to also maybe do something about Karl Malone type shit. Like maybe be like, you know what, this is unacceptable, and so is this. Let's do something about this. You can have both. Should have both. Would love to be in the mind of someone who decides $3 million isn't enough, so I'm gonna gamble my whole career for a third of that, knowing that this shit never works. Hey, now, I wouldn't go that far. This shit probably does work, you just don't hear about it because they're smart enough to not get caught. I truly believe, not so much players, but some of the refs are 100%, not just in the NBA, in sports in general, 100% placing bets. They have so much power and so much sway over an outcome, I highly suspect there are refs that are placing bets. But you don't hear about them because they're not getting caught like Porter. Speaking of sports gambling, have you kept up with the Shohei Ohtani gambling situation? His interpreter stole $16 million from him and somehow lost $40 million. Dude sucked at gambling. Yeah, we talked about him. Either the refs are betting on games or they're being forced to follow a script. Okay, I hate the fucking script theory because that's just outrageous. Do you know how many people would have to be tight-lipped about that? Like, that's where, when you break down these, like, really large conspiracy theories, like a fucking script for the games, there are so many people that would be privy to that knowledge, it would 100% leak. It's impossible. You would not be able to script it. But the refs are 100% placing bets. And that's where I think some of the shit being rigged comes in. Because of corrupt refs. Some of them do get scripts, it's been admitted to by players, but it's definitely not all of them. Oh, those are memes. Those are literally jokes from people leaning in on it. I know exactly what you're referring to. It's like when I play in a game, well, it's been a while, but it's like when I play in a game that means something and I talk about it being scripted if I die or lose or something. Like, it's just leaning into a joke. That's exactly all it is. There's no fucking scripts in professional sports, just corrupt officiating. Alright, fuck, I'll finally look into the Red Lobster thing. Like, I just don't have a whole lot to say about Red Lobster. Like, I heard Red Lobster's going bankrupt, but I'm not really surprised, and I was never really a Red Lobster fan. Like, it's just very mediocre. I had it, like, I could probably count on one hand the amount of times I had Red Lobster in my life. The main reason I even think... Like, the only thing I think of when I hear Red Lobster is my 4th grade science teacher. Her name was Miss Valentine, and she loved Red Lobster. She'd always tell us about, like, the dinner she had there the night before. She went, like, every night, basically, their best customer. I'm surprised they went bankrupt with her. She could have kept that whole company afloat by herself. Okay, this is one of those articles I need to pay to read all of. I mean, the price of everything is fucking exploding. It sucks. Absolutely tragic. Red Lobster is reportedly considering filing for bankruptcy to relieve financial pressures that have weighed on the company. According to a report by Bloomberg, citing people familiar with the discussions, Red Lobster is weighing a Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing to renegotiate burdensome leases and address other long-term contracts, as well as rising labor costs. And yeah, I saw there's an emulator on the Apple Store, which is nice. There's a Prime Stinky. Seafood chain had a variety of owners and major investors since it was founded in 1968 by Bill Darden and Charles Woodsby. General Mills acquired the company in 1970. Where's the thing you mentioned that they are actively losing $11 million on endless shrimp? Is that like one of the main reasons why they're going bankrupt? Because of their endless shrimp offering? Because that I'd like to read about. I'll just look up the shrimp directly then, I guess. Yeah. Red Lobster is considering bankruptcy partly due to $11 million loss from endless shrimp deal. This comes after Red Lobster reported a $12.5 million operating loss in the fourth quarter of 2023. Man, that endless shrimp will get you. I was hoping this have some more info on the shrimp itself. The restaurant chain announced that its first ever endless lobster experience would give 150 winners across the country the chance to enjoy a complimentary 2-hour dinner of endless lobster. Jesus. Okay. Red Lobster has been known for its endless shrimp deal. The company made it a permanent menu option in June and increased the price from $20 to $25 as a result of losses. Shrimp must be super cheap for them to get. I remember when I used to be like a big shrimp eater when I was in high school. I used to be able to crush like 30 shrimp. I'd go crazy on them. Not at Red Lobster, but just like some good old-fashioned public shrimp. The only guy who's happy about it is probably Nate Allen from the Eagles. He was accused of jerking off there once. What? He was accused of jerking off at a Red Lobster? Jesus, that endless shrimp got people going loony. My, oh my. It was apparently false but very strange. What a weird story to make up about an athlete jerking off at a Red Lobster. Cool.